I was born in 1947 to abusive parents who were alcoholics, and they divorced when I was 10. From that time on, I went to live with aunt and uncle and aunt and uncle. And by the time I was 14, I was pretty well put out on my own. At 14 years of age, even though you're a teenager and know everything, I made all bad choices. I got involved with alcohol and other things, and through the period of my young life, I naturally didn't like to study, didn't like to go to school. I quit school and went in the military. I served for 2 years, got out of the military, still a lost soul, not knowing what to do and where to go. I was unchurched and I got into the occult, demonology, and witchcraft. And I studied it very heavily. If you looked at my card, it said bound by the Prince of Darkness. That's just what I was. I'd sold my soul to the devil. And so, through an experience that I had during that time, I became very afraid. I don't know if you're saved or not, but I will tell you, if you're not saved, I know what hunts you. I've seen it, and it's not fun. Anyway, from that time period on, I met my wife-to-be, and she did go to church, and I knew that I was in some trouble, but I didn't know how to get out of it. So I asked her if we could start going to church, and we did. And in 1973, I was saved. The bad thing was it was a very legalistic church, and I found out I couldn't be good enough to be a Christian. No matter what I did was not good enough, and I walked away from God. I spiraled into alcoholism for 10 more years, and the more I drank, the meaner I got. I was mean to my kids, I was mean to my wife. My boys basically grew up without me. I'd come home drunk, and I'd go to bed and get up and go to work, and get off work and get drunk and come home and go to bed. And they hardly ever saw me. So naturally my marriage started to split up, and my wife and I grew further and further apart, and one day we separated, and I had a lot of time to think, and I sat in a hotel room saying, what can I do? You know, I went through a treatment center, and I was not drinking, but I wasn't sober. I still had that weird brain. And I decided, you know, I'm going to give God another chance. And so this time when I went to church, I went on my terms, and I started developing a relationship with Christ instead of a religion. And my wife, seeing the change in me, decided to give me a chance and forgive me for who I was. And I'm proud to say that our marriage was that far apart. And through prayer and through church and through my walk with Christ, we grew closer and closer together. And this year we'll celebrate 40 years of marriage. And I'm very proud. Who I am isn't who I was. Christ can change you. If you give him a chance, he will definitely change your life. I said it in the other service that this is Memorial Day, and it's fitting because the greatest warrior of all time punched a hole in this dark world. 2,000 years ago, he gave his life and resurrected for Bob Ayers so he could save my soul and everybody's soul in here, and he's still doing that great.